So hi everybody, welcome back. James and I are talking today about COVID and its impact on hotel technology.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. So that brings us on to the next topic, which is, and we've touched on it a little bit, but, how does the guest in a post-COVID contactless world order room service? Now, I mean, if I just think about what we've touched on already, obviously, in-room tablet, using voice, using their own device. But let's explore those in a little bit more detail if we could.
Yeah, of course. And I think you touched on a number of different scenarios there for ordering, and I'm going to sound like I'm repeating myself here again, but I'm going to use my two words, which I use all the time, which is integration and options. Integration and options every time. And with integration, we can offer options because there are so many ways that can be delivered. This can be delivered. Now, we need to think about what our ideal guests would want and what our different types of guests would want and how they would expect it. Like we said with voice, one thing is asking for room service, and then the room service menu could be delivered to your own device. It could be delivered to the TV. It could be delivered to an in-room tablet. You could ask the voice service to read you the room service menu, but I think that would take too long unless you had a very limited menu.
Yep.
One of the other options, and this is something I've already experienced in a hotel I stayed in London only probably 4 months ago, a 3-star limited service hotel, but this was fantastic. You checked in the room. When you go in the room, the TV was already on. There was a QR code on the TV. You scan the QR code with your phone and you could WhatsApp them for anything. The room service menu was there on the TV. You couldn't control it with your phone, but that could be the next step. But you could see the room service menu and you just send them a WhatsApp, and it knew that it was your room because your phone number was registered obviously against the room, and you would just WhatsApp them your order, WhatsApp them your bookings, WhatsApp them your questions, and everything worked perfectly. Yep. Now, I'm not saying everything has to be by WhatsApp. You could use many different platforms, but that kind of idea to allow the guest to just message with their own device is a good starting point. I don't think it's for everyone, and that's where it comes back to that phone in the room. There's definitely going to be a guest who just wants to pick the phone up and say it.
Sure.
But this is one option. Obviously, tablets in the room can, in my opinion, offer a full room service ordering system standalone. If the tablet exists in the room, the guest it can be in a bag perhaps. It's cleaned, it's bagged, as in this is clean, and then they would have to remove it from their bag, I would assume, to use it. The alcohol wipes could be at the side of it, but on that you could launch a room service menu and you could do the ordering through it. So then you don't need so many different systems.
Yep.
But again, whether the guest would want to pick it up or not, I don't know, versus their own device. Again, yep. Ordering could be done on your own device, as I just discussed, through WhatsApp. It could be done through an app. It could be done through an appless, web page. Of course, the way to, if this was integrated with a full kind of digital concierge type model to bring in the housekeeping, the concierge services, as well as the F&B, you're then starting to talk about whether you integrate artificial intelligence. Now, I think maybe that's another conversation at some point. But of course, in a world where manpower is going to be very heavily focused towards sanitation practices, we may need to look at how some of the communication tasks are handled by chatbots to reduce the workload on staff members who've maybe got a very high focus on cleaning.
That's a really good point, James. I've seen a couple of systems of late that handle this room service via your own device fairly well. One of them is it's actually a QR code and an NFC tag in the room, which is unique to the room. So the guest uses either. If they've got an NFC device, it will pick up on that. If not, it will pick up the QR code. It brings up the room service menu on their own device. That menu can be based on time of day. So if it's nighttime or 2 in the morning, then literally the overnight menu will be all that's presented to them. Very graphical in nature. They can go through, order whatever they want. The program will suggest upsells as well. So, if they're ordering the burger, would you like cheese? Would you like bacon? Would you like some wedges? Would you like a beer? All gets processed through to the room. Fantastic. Another one that I've seen actually has a chatbot built into it as well. So as you were suggesting, it's a chatbot, it's a compendium, and you can order room service or book a spa. And the idea behind the chatbot feature is that it takes that pressure off front desk by handling those frequently asked questions. So you can type in, for example, pool, and it would come back and it would say, yes, we have a pool. It is on level 10. It's open from 7 a.m. till 10 p.m. You'll need to take a towel. All towels are available. So I think we're going to see a lot of those.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point. We are going to see a lot because we're really, really going to need to reduce manpower on those kind of initial basic questions. And as long as the process flow is correct, that when the chatbot can't handle it anymore, it's directed to a staff member who answers the query within an appropriate time. I think immediate's a bit of a strong term, but within an appropriate response time, then that's going to work very well. And obviously those chatbots need to be able to operate sort of multi-channel. We need to be able to give the guest their channel of communication. I talk about WhatsApp a lot, but that is not everyone's preferred channel of communication for sure. There's many, many different messenger platforms that are popular across the world, and you need to be able to integrate with many of those. So these will be great to basically free up staff to focus their time on exactly where it's needed. And the thing is, we talk about hospitality and people want communication. They want to be treated special. They want to be able to get their answers. But actually you'll find a lot of people, they don't really mind if they're speaking to a bot, even if they know it's a bot. Some people don't like it, but a lot of people are very happy now because it's become familiar. Some people don't even realize, because most people, when they start a conversation, they just want the answer to their question, or they just want their service to be delivered. And I think we need to not lose sight of that. Of course, yes, we know we crave human-to-human interaction as well, especially in hospitality, and that will never go away. But we need to remember that human-to-human interaction doesn't always have to be face-to-face. It is possible that we can deliver this through a platform where you can communicate with the front desk, but it can be on the phone, it can be on a messaging, it can be through an app and things like that.
Yeah, that's a really good point, James. I think I read once that millennials, something along the lines that millennials don't necessarily believe that hospitality has to be a face-to-face thing. As long as they get the answer, they're happy to use technology. And, we're going to see a lot more of that. We will pick up our conversation for our listeners and talk more about technology in the post-COVID world.
Excellent. Thanks, Brendon. Great talking.